Welcome to Encounter, where we celebrate putting faith into action and community leaders who live out compassion, grace, and love. We're a program of the Broome County Council of Churches that addresses food insecurity through CHOW and the Greater Good Grocery, provides hospital and jail ministry, builds wheelchair ramps, and assists neighbors with transportation and shopping services through Faith in Action volunteers. We invite you to the conversation. Encounter your neighbors as we learn to walk together in love and kindness.
Good morning and welcome to Encounter. I'm your host today, Joe Sellepack, Executive Director at the Broome County Council of Churches. One of the things that I believe as a Christian is that my work within the community is important because it helps for all people within our community to be able to have access to some of the benefits that make a community possible. So we feed people, we clothe people, we make sure that people feel as if we're a kind, considerate, and caring community, and those things are important to me. And one of the reasons that it's very important to me too is because the Bible tells us that we're supposed to be working for the peace of the city. One of those organizations in my wheelhouse that I really believe in that helps with the peace of the city is the work of Rotary. Rotary, I've been a Rotarian now for close to as long as I've been Executive Director at the Broome County Council of Churches, which is about 19 years. And it's an organization that does amazing things inside of the community. We're going to talk a little bit about what we do at Rotary with two of our president and our past president. So Marci Goodwin is our past president. Marci, welcome to Encounter.
Thank you, Joe.
And Mary Surdey, who is our current president. Welcome to Encounter today.
Thank you, Joe.
So why do you feel as if public service is important? What about Rotary makes that come to life for you?
I feel that, Rotary is all about service above self. That is our motto. So giving back to the community and helping the public, to me, there's nothing more important than that because we all have to help one another. So the motto of Rotary just goes along with giving back to community and servicing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, service above self. I think I've always thought that was an amazing motto, and it's something that I think that kind of gets downplayed these days. Like everybody wants to do service, but they want to do it for their own benefit at times. So it's like if I can get that YouTube moment or that 15 minutes of fame by what I do, then we're going to do it that way. But if not, we don't tend to do it, right?
Absolutely. Correct.
So Mary, what draws you to Rotary?
Joe, I've been a Rotarian for just about as long as you, just shy of 20 years. And I think it's a mission, Rotary is, that giving back, that neighboring, that love for others. It's who we are, Rotarians, and it becomes very meaningful when it's in your immediate community and you can see the short-term and long-term effects of some of the service that we do. Yeah,
that's been an impressive thing for me too, thinking about when I became a Rotarian, I was very young, really. I was in my 30s still at that time. And it introduced me to the right people too. So some of the folks that come to Rotary are people like you, that are like me, that really want to give of themselves and to Rotary, and that becomes our mission, like you said. And so, how do people? What are some of the good things that we're able to do? How do people benefit from what we do?
Sure, Joe. I think we tend to work with other community agencies and we find out what are the needs in our community. We did an internal survey in the Binghamton Rotary, and people were very interested in making sure that we take care of those less fortunate, those who are dealing with food insecurity. And we've made that kind of a focus for the year, whether it's just working with chow, diaper drive, can drive, non-perishable food items, monetary donations. Also partnering with the new Rumble Ponies Mobile Food Pantry. You can see that the benefits and the immediate need goes out to those who are less fortunate and who need our love and support.
Yeah. So, so one of the things that Rotary did for Chow this last year was the amount of we did a Christmas party that Marci organized. So, you want to lead us through what went on there?
Absolutely.
And how we did that?
Every year we have our social event, and we decided this year to have everybody bring in food, and we started the drive probably a month before the actual party, and each week when we meet at our club, everybody would bring food, and then the night of the party, we were so happy to be able to present 1,800 pounds of food, I believe. And what better thing can you do for the community than supply food for people that need it? So it was a very proud moment for all of us, and it did so much good for the people in the community because it was all stuff that they could use, whether it be baby formula, you mentioned that was a big need, regular food, canned food, diapers, whatever. It all went back to people right here in this community.
Yeah, that was really impressive, and then we raised a bunch of money too.
We did.
Went along with that. So it was like I think I put the total together at around 15,000 pounds of food, something like that we were able to raise between the money and the food donations. Mary, you had done some research that led up to that, especially the baby formula. How much does baby formula cost these days?
Joe, I was shocked. They priced it at a couple different places, in a small little can, smaller than a coffee can, was almost $25 for infant formula.
Wow.
And I had a Rotarian who was out of town, wrote me a check for $50, and I was able to go purchase 2 little cans of formula. And people were just shocked at how far that little bit of formula can go, but how expensive it really is for families with newborns.
Yeah, and we and that's part of what makes Rotary click is the fact that we see a need and we do something about it. So so that was one of the things that we did was working toward helping end food insecurity, which is a big part of Rotary, but we also do a lot of work with kids too, and youth and in our community. Marci, what are some of those things that we've done?
You just hit on my favorite topic. The most important project, or the thing I enjoy the most, is we have a scholarship program in the sense that it goes to a Rotary group called RYLA, which is Rotary Youth Leadership Association. And every year we go to Binghamton High School and we interview probably 6 to 10 kids and choose them for this program that Rotary runs. It's at SUNY Oneonta. It's for 3 days where it's a life-changing experience from what all the kids have told us. And they go for 3 days, they learn how to lead, how to manage. It's very intense, but we ask the children to come back and speak to us afterwards. And not every single one of them has said that it's life-changing to them. And for people that say kids these days have issues, they need to come with us for 1 day because we leave there. It's almost selfish because you feel so good about these kids, but we're helping them and changing their lives with this program. That is my absolute favorite part of Rotary, is honestly working with the kids.
Yeah, I've been chairing that for a number of years.
Yes.
Before me, Dave Golden was the chair of that committee, and we one of the things that we pride ourselves in is that we don't usually select the people that have had a lot of opportunities.
Right.
So instead we try to concentrate on those people either because of financial reasons or because they just haven't, because of the makeup of their family. I remember once we were interviewing a kid who had 6 siblings, and he was the oldest of 6 siblings. And his mom and his dad both had to work, and so he found himself as a caregiver for his siblings. And so because of that, he just didn't have time. He didn't have any moment for himself. And so we gave him, through the work of Ryla, we gave him the opportunity to work on himself and to find out what he really wanted. He went in thinking that he was going to do, I think he was just going to enroll in try to be a Marine. But then on the other side of it, he came out and he said, well, I am going to go into ROTC, but I'm going to go to college and I want to get, a degree, and then I'm going to be an officer in the Marine Corps. And you found out that, that it changed him. It changed his perspective on what his capabilities were, what his life experience was going to lead him to. It was pretty impressive what went on that day. And that kind of story gets multiplied again and again by all the kids that kind of go there, right?
Absolutely.
Joe, can I add to that? Not only Binghamton Rotary sponsors the RYLA and the leadership opportunities, we also do scholarships for 4 high school students. We give $1,000 scholarships out. And once again, that's an interview process, and we look for students actually who value service and community service. And we're finding more and more that there are high school students, it's required community service. And those interviews, like you said, Marci, they are just so hopeful, and so you feel so good about this next generation. In addition to the scholarships, we also do an elementary school program.
Oh, yeah.
It's we call it the Student of the Year.
This has been a big passion of yours over the years. Yeah, because you've been very, very active in the schools.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as a former teacher, it has so much meaning to me. We pick, the school picks the counselor, the teachers, and the principals involved. We have a 5th grade student who becomes the Student of the Year from that elementary school. And what we're able to do is we get all 7 students together. Their families are invited for lunch. We do a wonderful celebration where the kids get to talk about what it means to transition from elementary school to middle school and how they see themselves as a leader. We also give them a beautiful gift bag with gift certificates in there, movie tickets, beach towels for the summer, and it's just a wonderful celebration for not only the students but their families and the schools.
And talk about a hopeful day too. I mean, when we listen to these kids rattle off their resume, of all the things that they've been involved in and all the things that they do, you're sitting there looking at them going, you're a 5th grader. And yet they're active in their church's food pantry. They visit with the Humane Society. I remember that one kid was really big into dogs. You have all these people all these kids that are so active, and you're sitting there looking at them going, when do you watch cartoons?
Right.
It's like, but they do amazing work, and it leads me at least to feel far more hopeful than what I did about the world leading up to that.
I'll just mention a couple of other opportunities that we have to work with youth,
Yeah.
Joe. SUNY Broome opened a new Hope Center, and Binghamton Rotary, we actually had a couple weeks where we brought in donations for the Hope Center, some clothing, personal care supplies, and so supported our college students at SUNY Broome. We have a speaker every week, and Joe, that we like to give a gift.
Oh, yeah.
And our gift right now supports food insecurity and hunger on the weekends for elementary children. It's called the Backpack Program, and we honor our speaker by providing donations for the Backpack Food Program so that elementary students don't go hungry over the weekend.
That's an important thing, because what we've realized inside of the elementary schools is that the kids will be eating on the school lunch program, and they get a lot of food really for their daytime consumption. Go for breakfast, and they go usually for lunch, but then when they get home for the weekend, whatever gain that they've had through the week is kind of lost over the weekend. So it's an important thing that you all do, that we do together, that helps those kids over the weekend. It's
also been a very long-term
Yeah.
project of ours, because I was president in 2014. We've been doing it, we were doing it back then, so this is really one of our very long-term goals that certainly helps. And I know there's nothing more than that kids need than food, and like you said, during the week they eat well, and the weekends is kind of desolate, so it's a very good long-term program that we've had.
And my guests today are Marci Goodwin, past president of the, well, a past president from Binghamton Rotary, as well as Mary Surdey, who is our current president at Binghamton Rotary Club. So now, we've done, you know, one of the other projects that I really feel we did a really good job with, Marci, was the Pal Camp. And Matt Lewis, who is a friend of an ex-student of Mary's, right?
Former student.
Goes way back. So what did we do there, and how is that emblematic of what Rotary does in general?
The Pal Camp, thanks to Mary and her connection with Matt, who is amazing, we reached out to our club for different connections that everybody had to help supply the Pal Camp, which is an ongoing summer event for many years now, I believe.
PAL stands for the Police
Athletic League.
Athletic League. So it's a camp that they have that's in Binghamton, right?
Correct.
All right, and please continue, I'm sorry.
No problem. So we raised money, I'm not sure how much.
$16,000.
$16,000, and we're able to supply them with 2 new stoves.
Yes.
We were able to get a shed, because they have a huge pool, which obviously the kids use all summer. We were able to get chlorine for the pool. We got a new cover for the pool. What else was for the kitchen beside the stoves?
There were some sporting equipment for the kids, new ping pong tables, I think a foosball table, just wonderful, wonderful things. And the Police Athletic League, which supports the Pal Camp, it's run strictly on donations. And we were able to partner with Matt. We had not only the club come up with the money, the $3,000 for the shed, but we had a retired Rotarian who said, I used to benefit from Pal Camp, and I went to Pal Camp, and he came up and gave us a check for a large amount of money.
Yeah,
It was just like, it spans generations, I can say.
It does.
Just spans generations.
And we had Matt Lewis on Encounter. This was right after we started doing all of this stuff, and I was talking about we were talking a lot about what goes on there. And like Ryla, and like some of the work that we do, it really does encourage kids to be involved in leadership, to be involved in the community. Community service is very, very important to them, and then it also ultimately helps the students find creative and really community-oriented ways of being in the world. Because a lot of the kids, again, you're dealing with folks who are right on the margins financially and other kinds of things, but it presents them with a future that they might not have had before.
And Joe, I'll just give a statistic. Right now, Matt Lewis has been able to grow the program. He was up to last summer around 400 campers, and those campers that come, it's totally free for them. And so these are kids that would not have had that opportunity without Pal Camp and the support of organizations like Rotary.
One of the great things that going back to the original quote that Marci brought up when we were doing this, service above self. One of the great things that Rotary does is it does service above self, but it doesn't really do a great job of tooting its own horn, making everybody aware of it, because that's not why we're doing it, right? So this gives, like what we've been doing today, is really giving you the opportunity to put your best foot forward as far as what we do here at Rotary. So When we're thinking about some of the future goals of the club, like, you know, and how people might connect with us, what are some of those future goals? And then we'll talk about how people can plug in and be connected if they would like to.
Sure, Joe. Many nonprofits right now are experiencing kind of a downsizing, coming off of COVID, some of the stresses that the economy is under, that our membership has started to kind of fall off a little bit. So we're looking to increase membership. We would love to have younger people join us. I know sometimes it's difficult for them to make our meetings. We do meet on Tuesdays at noon. We meet at the SUNY Broome Culinary Center, which is right downtown, the old public library. But we're getting creative about how we can offer memberships. We're starting to reach out to businesses to try and grab some of those folks for memberships. We also are looking to, through our programming, we do a wonderful program every week to grow membership that way. If anyone is interested in learning more about Rotary and coming and visiting us, come and be a guest for lunch, you could reach out through Surdey, Surdey, @gmail.com, and we'd love to talk to you about the importance of Rotary in our community and make you part of this wonderful, wonderful organization.
And really, I mean, so the way that Marci, how does our meetings, how are they structured? Like, what goes on?
It's structured for people that are on, first of all, limited lunchtime. So we get there, we start eating around noon. We always have a buffet. We start the meeting about 25 after 12. We have announcements, a quick business meeting, which might take 10 or 15 minutes. And then we always have a wonderful speaker. And our goal is to try to get out by 1 o'clock. So it's 12 to 1, which suits the needs of business people. So it's very structured. It's always interesting. The speakers, I think, are one of our main priorities in the group as far as learning about different things that are going on in the community. And it's just it's a great meeting. You go away from the meeting feeling good. But like you said before, we're kind of a secret in the sense that we don't like to blow our own horn or whatever you want to say. But we do so much service, and if you are interested in giving back to the community, Rotary is definitely the way to go. And our meetings are convenient, and you always leave learning something new.
And I'll just add to that a little bit, Marci. I mentioned the survey that was done of the club in the fall. In addition to wanting to get involved with the food insecurity issue, our club members said that our strengths are the camaraderie, this welcoming feeling. People want to be there. When people come to Rotary, they say, I'm so glad to be here. And it's amazing that 5 or 10 people will say that every week. In addition to the camaraderie, people also said that one of our greatest strengths is the programming that we do every week. We have a wonderful speaker. It could be a nonprofit, it could be a business person. Often we like to involve the schools and the youth, as Joe has said, with all the work we do with young people. So it's a welcoming place, and we'd love to have you join us.
And one of the cool things too that we do is we usually go around with a Polio Plus. So polio is one of the issues that Rotary has been working on for a long time, and we've been trying to eradicate polio, and it's right on the cusp of being eradicated. And every year you find that people, are going back and forth over the vaccine and all the rest of that kind of thing. But we have been working, especially in third world countries, to try to find as many people that we can inoculate against polio, because such a devastating illness. If you, some of the things that go on with that. But anyway, we go around with the Polio Plus jars, and we do happy, sad, or other emotional dollars, right? So it's like everybody puts $1 in, and then they talk about something that's going on. So like I put $1 in, and I told everybody I'm going to be a grandfather, and so it becomes a celebration of what the members are going through, and so we have this time of sharing. And sometimes it's very meaningful sharing, like people talk about somebody who's passed, who they felt really connected to, and they said this is a sad dollar, and we get to support them and be there with them as they're walking through that. So it's not only for the benefit of the community, but really a lot of the members find a lot of value in what we do there too, right?
Well, we're very, very close, as Mary was saying. So you do feel like you're sharing information with family members at that time. We're just that close. And I think a lot of Rotaries have something years ago, you got fined for things that you used to do. You chew gum, you forgot to wear your name tag. Ours is happy, sad, or emotional, so that you can share happy, sad, or emotional, whatever. But it's sharing with family. It's a great group.
And we are a gambling club too,
we
right?
Are.
So how does that come out, Mary?
So we're in the middle right now of the March Madness pool here, and Rotarians actually buy a ticket. You get 2 teams, and we're down to the final 4, and all that money goes back to the club for our service projects. So if we raise $1,000, $500 goes out in prizes. The other $500 comes back to support the club service projects as well as operating expenses. And Joe, you prompted something for me to think about when you said, what are some goals we have? And I want to give a shout out to our to other Rotary clubs in the area. We've been doing some partnering with them.
Yeah.
The Endicott, Endwell, Johnson City Club, Vestal, all of those wonderful groups. And one of the issues we've been partnering around is we are the carousel capital of not only New York State, but the nation. We have 6 beautiful carousels. We know that they bring tourism, and they're an economic driver. And right now we're in the midst of reopening the Ross Park carousel, and also a 7th carousel is soon to be coming with our in Vestal. So we move from just beyond the immediate few blocks to the greater, larger Broome County. And I want to give a shout out to all the other Rotary clubs that partner with us and do great things.
My guests today have been Marci Goodwin and Mary Surdey. We've been talking about Rotary and all the good things that go on in Rotary and how people can get connected. Again, if people want to be connected, Mary's email address is mmsurdey, S-U-R-D-E-Y, at gmail.com, and people can get connected. And for all of you today, I pray that as you make your way through this week, that you would find ways of being good and kind to each other, and have a great Sunday. Good talking to you. Well, it's good to have you both on. So now